Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? So today is Monday, February the 5th, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin very quickly. I'm actually probably going to call it a day right after I finish this video, but I want to make sure that you guys are aware of what I'm thinking as well, because I genuinely believe that these kind of plays don't really happen often, and sometimes we have to push ourselves a little bit, and that's why I stayed up all night, because I believe that there's a big play coming up and I don't want to miss it. These really don't happen often. Now I want to explain to you guys what is going on with Bitcoin right now. And of course, everything is your choice. And what I'll do is just point out the facts and we'll argue it together. And hopefully we can see something that's bullish, right? If not, then we'll also point out some of the signs of bearishness and we'll go from there. So I'm not even going to bother doing an Elliott wave count, okay? What I see right now is this, first of all. I want to point out some bearish signs, and the bearish sign is that this is parabolically moving down like that, alright? Which is not a good sign, but I also want to point out some positives as well. Now, we're going to assume the most extreme ends, alright? Something like that, basically. Actually, let's go in a little bit closer to a 4-hour chart, my mistake. Just something like this, alright? We're going to assume some traps like that. That is nice, okay? We go on a 4-hour chart, and basically what we do is we assume that some of them are actually bull traps, or sorry, bear traps, right? Where it breaks down and basically the bears are, the bulls are trapping them, right? The bears think that they're going down, so they'll short, but the bulls end up moving the market up instead, trapping a lot of the people who are entering short positions. So this clear support line is established, and I think we can all agree on that as well. Now, let's take some of the most relevant points here. Of course, there's many different arguments. There's maybe something like that, right? Which I don't really like too much. So we will try to see what we can squeeze. Of course, this one is a fairly relevant one as well that we can acknowledge. But the one that I see the most right now is this right here, guys. Let me just get into a very close time frame here for you. Now, the one that I see goes something like this. Goes something like that, coming down. That's one. And then the most prominent one that I see right now, of course, is this one as well, where it is absolutely being squeezed in here in a very nice support, or sorry, resistance line right there, right? That's a good trend line, I'd say. And then we also just confine the area. So we like to isolate the regions that we're working in, and a lot of the times it can break out a specific way, right? A trend is established by supports and resistances, or a pattern, right? And it squeezes to a specific point where the bulls or the bears will eventually take over and win. So we have to seize these moments and acknowledge them and prepare for them. So we try to plan a little bit ahead, and just always remember that without risk, there's no possibility of reward, right? So yeah, so what I see is the most major support line that I can even think of right now based on its sloped trend line. And of course, we also have this region as well, okay? I'm going to delete this right here so we can actually see it. I'm extremely tired today, but I have to get this video out for you guys because I think it will be very much so worth your time. So we see this right here as a massive support region. Lots of activity here, right? So we say to ourselves, what was previously a support becomes a resistance, and what was previously a resistance becomes a support. So now this is the upper end of the support, okay? And then of course, I always acknowledge a lower end as well. I call it my resistance, and then this one here is my key resistance, right? This is the key resistance. This is the bear, super bearish scenario, and this is more on the upper end where we are all hoping to hold. But what we do see as well is this, and there's no denying that, right? Like around this region, what we do see is a horizontal support where this was previously a resistance and now it becomes a support. And we also see this slope to trendline support while factoring in some bear traps as well. So we ask ourselves, are these regions here going to bounce it up? That is the argument right now, right? We have to make sure that we understand without risk, there's absolutely no reward. So am I going to take this play? Yeah, if I'm awake, I can't really stay awake any longer. I'm extremely tired. And I apologize, guys. I'm really sorry for getting the 7500 call wrong. But of course, I know you guys completely understand my logic, right? We try to see signs of something, and yeah, the count was kind of done. I feel this is a very extended wave here right now. So Elliott wave to me is kind of gone, right? I'm not really factoring it in. But if I did it very simply, it would just be like this, okay? Like that, 4 and 5. And I would consider this an entire substructure right here where we get an A, B, C with a truncated C position here where C just, it was very bearish, so we couldn't even get a higher C than it. That's basically how I see it right there. And the whole thing, if I were to talk about Elliott wave now that I see in hindsight, goes something like that, right? And we have been so close to counting all of our Elliott waves, right? Of course, I got some of it wrong, but sometimes we don't know in hindsight, or till in hindsight rather. So once again, I see this sloped horizontal support line, and I also, sorry, this horizontal support line and this sloped horizontal, I really can't speak. You guys know what I mean. There's this horizontal support line and a sloped support line as well. So now I go to a different time frame and I look at here and I see a spinning top, which is a very bullish candle, okay? It's a very bullish candle where the bears are trying to push it down, but it was rejected very quickly by the bears pushing it up. And I called this one out on my Twitter as well, where it was first a hammer and then it turned into a spinning top. Now that is good. Now this, if it was longer, if this candle was down, it would have been amazing. It would have made a tweezer on the 15-minute chart, but it made a fairly decently bullish candle as well, where this one is called an inverted hammer, where the bulls are trying to push it up at least, right? Here we see absolutely no attempt really to push it up, and there's not a lot of volume. So we have to think that the bears are just on the attack right now, and the bulls are not really defending. They're just letting it go down, and they're not attacking either. But finally, when it reached here, the bulls said, okay, we're going to try to push it up a little bit. And then the bears said, no, we're pushing it back down. But because the bulls have tried to push it up, that now makes it more bullish than the previous candles, especially with the volume going up there. So now that candle right here implies that now the bulls are actually on the offense. And then the next 15 minutes, we see that the bears said, okay, we're going to try to push it down right here. Then the bulls said, no, we're going to push it up, and we're going to push it up all the way. So this candle can be viewed as an indecision candle, but it's more so seen as a bullish candle with this specific combination. And now we don't really see a lot of long wicks coming down. We see the volume just spiking up here, right? And so that's a really good sign right now that the bulls are trying. So the play, guys, is this right here, and please watch it, okay? We've argued this already, that we see this blue line right here as a horizontal support, right? Yes, no doubt about it. And this purple line as well has been derived from the major points of all the lows that we see while factoring in some bear traps as well. So yeah, those are really, really good signs as well. So we ask ourselves, is there a chance for a bounce when it squeezes into this specific region right here somewhere, okay? Yeah, there's a chance, of course. And now we look at it saying that it could possibly go up and it could possibly go down. Now, if it goes down, it will break so many rules, such as, well, not rules, but critical points. Critical points such as, well, the horizontal line, right? The support and the sloped one as well. So now, if it does break down, we will no doubt see a range in, you guys don't want to hear it, but in the lower range here, right? Between, like, we're talking like 6K about that region, this region right there, which is, you know, 550, 500 to 6K. So now I want to wait, as I was advised to everybody, is just to wait, guys. You know, we don't want to take the chances. It's very, very risky right now to enter and bank on a position, right? So of course the best play to make would be to wait and just be a little bit patient. Now let's go look at every single indicator one by one, okay? We're not going to look at moving average too much right now because that's not really indicating too much at the moment. Moving averages more so determine a longer trend, right? But sometimes it doesn't tell you when the bottom is. It tells you when the bottom has already happened and we're continuing on an uptrend, right? Because moving averages are seen as lagging indicators. So the way I look at it the most is I look at histogram, because that's instant, okay? There's no lag on it. Now the MACD, of course, is a slow and a fast line, and those ones are lagging, right? MACDs are lagging. That's why when a crossover happened, in hindsight, it has already happened, and you know, you might have missed your chance. So we will go through every single time frame here and talk about these indicators. Now the daily chart right here, don't mind my dog. All right, so we notice this right here, that there's a resistance there, and we also notice this, that there's a support right here, right? We're reaching a critical support right here on the daily RSI. We are actually in the completely oversold zone, and this hasn't happened in a very long time, guys. It hasn't happened since about since September 15. I remember that day when Bitcoin came down to 29.70 or something, 29.80. Let's see, 29.80. Nailed it. I remember that day. A lot of people got liquidated, and I was in a really good short position for Omizigo there. So that we notice that this is the critical support right around here, guys. Are we gonna break this critical support as well here? I don't think so, guys. I really don't think so. We also notice that right here, it's completely oversold already, right? This one was very, very low here on January 16th, super low, okay? But that's kind of expected as well, for something to get that low, because this to me is the third wave, okay? This is the first, second, third, all of this is fourth, and then we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like that. So the third wave is the one that gets people liquidated, and it's the strongest wave usually. So then we're almost reaching a critical point here as well in the 4-hour. We are incredibly oversold, guys, and these indicators absolutely indicate that. Now, 3-hour chart, okay? This is the first time I've seen a positive tick on the histogram right here. I have not seen a positive tick like that, even though there's 2 hours left in it. It is still absolutely going up, right? If you guys look close, one tick is a big deal to me sometimes, okay? We are very oversold as well on the 3-hour chart. On the 2-hour chart, very oversold as well. We have a little tick there as well. That's a decent looking sign there. Now, how many hours to go on it? 1 hour to go on that one, the 2-hour, okay? Now, what kind of candle do we have here? Well, we got a doji that's forming here, okay? It's halfway in, but nevertheless, that is a doji. Nevertheless, on the 1-hour chart, right? Is it possible for it to do something like this? Usually I'm very bearish, right? Usually I'm very bearish, but I don't know why on Bitcoin, guys. I feel really bad that that I didn't nail it. I guess it's my first time I got it wrong in a while there. But you know what, guys? You don't get them all wrong. I didn't really enter any type of bad positions, and I hope that you guys didn't either, right? Because I always exercise caution there. So then I look on the RSI as well here, and let's see if we can spot anything as well. We notice that, hey, is that a trend line that's forming? Yeah. Hey, is that actually something as well here? That's possible, right? So is it possible that we want to break out of here after we wedge? Yes. But the question is, how much more conviction can we have for it to go down, right? So we are meeting a lot of different trend lines, right, for supports and resistances, and it is conforming to many, many rules of ours. So we look here as well, like how much longer can this actually just keep going down before it breaks a trend? Nothing can go up or down forever, right? The trend always reverses in some way or goes sideways, etc. But usually it definitely wants to break out of something. So I don't know why, but well, I know exactly why, but because we're so oversold right now in every single circumstance right now, right? Look at this last candle that formed, it was a doji. Now this one right here is an inverted hammer. So the bears are starting to lose control, I would say. Now if we look at here, right, since 9 in the morning, there was about 15.7K. Bitcoin's shorted. Now there's only about 15K, right? And the longs have actually gone up as well. Take a look, guys. The longs have gone up since like about an hour ago from 26.2K to 27.8K. So people are entering long positions right now, and there is this optimistic still, right? We're talking about almost twice as much long positions. So it's not bad, right? Around the 1130 mark. Well, where is it? Let me just see. Around the 1130 mark, it was really, really high there, right? But then around 11:30, an hour ago, the shorts ended up slowly coming down, and then the longs ended up going upwards a little bit more. So how do I feel about this? I feel that we're very, very severely oversold right now, and that it just cannot stay oversold this long before a small bounce happens. And I need to ask you guys a rhetorical question. And I know that some of you guys are in a very bad situation right now, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, nor am I making fun of you. In fact, you guys know that I'm not that kind of person that will put you down. In fact, the other way around, I will support you and try to give you genuine advice. Now, what I can say to a lot of people is you guys have basically a few choices, right? You can manage your risk, you can shed, in one way or another. You can shed some of your risk, right? Take a little bit of a loss, keep some of it, minimize. You can add more to your position. It's not my job to manage, like to even suggest that, because that's financial advice, and I don't want to give it. So the general advice I will give is, do you guys want to take a loss right now when you've already missed your stop loss chance? And do you want to sell in an extremely oversold zone where there could be a bounce based on everything that I've pointed out, right? There could be a bounce. For all we know, some whale could come in and be like, okay, I'm going to end up selling $150 million worth of Bitcoin here on bitfinex, and then just, yeah, it could be pretty bad. It can go either way, right? And then the other question you have to ask is, do you believe in a bullish market, medium or longer term? Do you believe that this could bounce and that we could get higher highs sometime in the year or maybe in a few months? And ask yourselves, will this actually stay in these types of oversold zones for this long? Can a bounce happen? So now is a really true test of your character in terms of your patience and your ability to hold and stay in the game. And right now, guys, this is where good traders will be differentiated from more newer traders. The good traders, right, they know what to do in these types of situations, right? Now it's up to you guys to decide what to do for yourselves. And I know that this is a very critical moment coming up very soon. It could break down, it could break up. I don't know. I'm just pointing obvious signs from what I see, right? I think it's going to break up, but I don't know. And if I knew all the time what was going to, sometimes there's a lot of mixed signals, guys. There's a lot of mixed signals, right? So we have to make sure we know what we're getting into. Like I already mentioned that we could go to 6K. But then again, we could uptrend a little bit as well, and maybe you guys can break even, right? Or you can take a smaller loss. So now is a true time, is a true test of character where you guys are going to learn a lot. And whether you win or whether you lose, I know that you guys are going to come out ahead with a very valuable learning experience, because this is where the patience comes in. This is where you have to factor out the emotion and you have to factor in the logic and ask all of these series of questions that I'm asking, because they are incredibly important questions for you guys to walk through, right? Think of it like a checklist, right? Am I selling at the right time? Am I selling because it's fear right now? Are other factors? Is there a third party that's influencing my decision right now? Do I believe it's going to bounce? How long is it going to stay in oversold regions for? How long can I actually hold this coin for, right? Do I believe that it's going to bounce long term? Am I holding a good coin with a good project, with good potential? Is this correction healthy in the market in general? And what I can say is that this is actually a very healthy correction, guys. It's super healthy for what's going on. We have to keep in mind and remember that what has gone up really, really fast and far eventually needs to take a break. And there's no denying the fact that we've gone from $700 to about high $19,000 within like 7-8 months, guys. So we have to respect the fact that these corrections are necessary as well, right? So, there's just a bunch of like questions and lots to do with psychology. As you guys know, I talk about the human factor in trading a lot as well, and the emotions especially as well. So it's coming down to that time where I probably will make a cup of coffee. I'll try to stay up as late as much as I can to tweet for you guys, because I want to be here for you guys, put it that way. And also I'm an addict to this game, right? I'm an addict to trading and charting, and you guys know exactly where I stand already. So yeah, like I'm kind of torn right now between what to do, because I really want to go to bed, but yeah, I want to stay up so bad as well. And even though I'm tired, I am still super enthusiastic about this right now, and I cannot stop thinking about Bitcoin and what is going to happen. So these are my quick thoughts right now for you guys. I don't know where the target is going to be. Okay, I've got no idea. But if I had to just shoot a really random target, just take the previous one right there first. We're talking about maybe getting to like 7,500 or something like that. Just super duper short term. We're talking about maybe it could recover the market, or maybe it could recover for you guys, right? A little bit as well. Because based on Elliott wave, this could be the very last wave coming down here, right? So yeah, these are my quick thoughts. Yeah, so I want to draw this really quickly for you as well, okay? Like, you know, actually, I'm too lazy to be honest right now. I don't want to do a detailed Elliott wave count. I think I beat Elliott wave to death already, and there's just nothing we can do about it, guys. There's just nothing we can do about it anymore. But if I had, you know what, I will for you guys. I will, because I want you guys to know what I'm thinking as well. I believe that's 1, 2, 3, okay, and I believe this is 4, okay. Where is this guy? I think that's 4 right there, and like 5, something like that. And then this is most likely 1. That's all of 2. It's a big one. 3 somewhere here, and first subwave is right in there somewhere. And this is 4 because it doesn't retrace into that territory, right? And then we have 5 down there. 5 down here. And now if I were to do a really detailed count on this one right here, we got a very small first wave. It's got a lower high, so that fits the criteria, right? We got an ABC there, and boom. This is the Elliott wave count, guys, that I've been waiting for. Just based on all alternates that I've been counting, I can't help but feel that this is getting really close to the bottom, guys. Oh, geez, I hope I'm right. I really do hope I'm right. But if I'm not right, that's fine. Then I won't have entered any position, right? I'm not going to enter any short position, okay? I'm only going to enter a long position. I really don't want to take the risk. But if this breaks up, sure, I'll probably end up setting a stop buy somewhere, like right here for Bitcoin. Yeah, for Bitcoin. A stop buy, and I'll automatically place a leveraged margin position for a sell, maybe around 7,500. So if I end up not being here, then if it breaks above a critical point where I believe it could break out, like say, I don't know, 7,200, I'll put up for like a few Bitcoin there. If it breaks up, I'll boom, automatically market execution stop buy. And because my margin leverage position for a short sell has already been placed up here, then because I'm entered into a margin long position already, because of this automatic stop buy, then what'll happen is it'll just sell it if it gets to about the 7,500. So I do these automatic plays a lot, and you guys should look at my tutorial number, I think it's tutorial number 15 or something, automatic buys. And I can profit, you know, a pretty good amount like that, a pretty decent amount, I guess. So another thing I wanted to talk about is, I guess this candle forming right here, it's now kind of bearish, but it's still an inverted hammer. But the good thing is there's only 5 minutes left in the candle, and the bears are not really pushing it down with the long wick, right? They're not selling off. So we have to be able to distinguish with the volume between a big sell-off, right? And when it's reached really close to the bottom and nobody wants to sell anymore. And I feel that we're getting kind of close to that moment where no one really wants to sell anymore. So the short positions are slightly going up, but that's nothing. This is just on a 3-minute chart. So this is where I stand, guys, with my thoughts on Bitcoin. I wanted to give you a very quick update. If you guys enjoy these videos, I would really appreciate an upvote on Steam it. And make sure you guys also like, subscribe, and share to the material as well. And if you guys especially want to let me know I'm doing a good job, you're welcome to buy me a beer or lunch, but don't ever feel obligated. I don't need you guys to do that. Just who doesn't like having a lunch bought for them? And sometimes people want to let me know that they appreciate what I'm doing for the community, and that's all. So other than that, guys, you have yourselves a great day. This will be my last video probably till tomorrow, because I've been up for about, I think about 27 hours now trading. It's been a really good day trading with you guys. I've been trying to call out a lot of things on what do you call it, on Twitter there, and I was a little bit excited. I was actually, I don't know why, but they took an article of mine, or a tweet of mine. It was a bad tweet. It was such a bad tweet because I didn't draw the candles properly. I didn't annotate it properly as well. And anyone who's a really good trader would look at it and be like, oh, who's this guy? It doesn't really look good, because I would think that to myself, right? But Cointelegraph, there was an article. Go check it out there. John McAfee is in it as well, and so am I. So I'm featured alongside an article with John McAfee about just the future of Bitcoin there. And I got the prediction so wrong, guys. And they didn't even take my screenshot of the one where it said that, like, you know, to 7,500 or something like that. So Oh, jeez. And nor did they even take my screenshots or my charts of the one that said there's a really bearish scenario as well. They just basically took the most bullish scenario possible and they pitted it against the most bearish scenario. So I'm kind of embarrassed that that happened. But ever since then, I ended up getting a few followers. So I apologize if I'm a jokester on Twitter, guys. You cannot take me seriously, okay? So just don't ever take me seriously. And I hope you guys are enjoying the Titanic videos as well. I believe that we should be able to make light of any situation, okay? So I'll be making a lot of funny videos like that for you guys all the time. So other than that, I'm sorry for talking so much like I always do. Please, traders, think about what I've said, right? The psychological and human side of the trading as well. And make sure you please stay cautious. You guys know how I feel about being cautious, right? There's no point of entering a trade until we have confirmation in time like this. If you enter a trade in a time like this, guys, you know what it is. It's just disaster and pure FOMO. So have yourselves a great day, traders, and please be cautious. And when I wake up, I really hope that we're at like 7,500 or something. Other than that, have yourselves a wonderful day, traders. Bye now.